Hey yogins, so welcome back to the channel. Today I'm back with a power yoga sequence for you that really focuses on the adductors and the obliques. The adductors are your groin muscles and the inside of your thighs there, and the obliques are the muscles on your sides, the sides of your waist. Very important core stabilization muscles. And so we'll be really working those out in today's class. So we have a lot of variations of the tree pose, which again work those adductors a bit and also help us with our standing balance, our standing strength, our coordination. So we've got some really fun variations in there. We may take it where you wouldn't expect to go with it. Then we also have Ardha Chandrasana, which is the balancing half moon pose. It's a challenging standing balance pose. Again, works our strength and our flexibility and also our coordination with balancing. And then we have a lot of variations of the side plank, which again are going to target those sides, the muscles in our sides, try and strengthen them out, and we'll also stretch them out, so don't worry. Anyway, guys, I hope you really enjoy this sequence, and of course, if you do, please give me a like, thumbs up, leave a comment, say hello, and subscribe to the channel. Okay, I'll see you on the other end of it. Thanks, and namaste. Find an asana or seat. Sit tall, close your eyes. And see if you can just let everything be exactly as it is. Letting go of the compulsion that we have to try and fix or change or improve our situation. You can pick this back up at the end of class, but for now, see if you can just come into this mind space, accepting and loving mind space where everything is how it is, and it's not our job to improve or judge the way that it is, but simply to accept things as they are, to love them as they are. This applies to the things that are around us in our environment, but also to our own heart and mind, what we find inside of us. While this may sound like the simplest thing to do, and in reality it is, most people find it very difficult, at least at first. So if you're finding it challenging, just relax. Know that you're not alone. And know that if you fight with yourself, that in itself is a form of not accepting what is. So simply let go of any kind of fight or struggle to make yourself feel or be a certain way. Just let go. Now, from this very loving and accepting space, we'd like to begin to move into our very active practice. But as we do, we like to keep the lessons that we've learned here, this loving, open, accepting awareness. So let's begin with our breath. As we inhale, we fill the belly, the ribs, and then the upper chest. As we exhale, we reverse this. Always doing the best we can, but not judging the results of our efforts. So maybe in our own mind, our best is not good enough. Well, that's not for us to decide. So do your best and let go of the results. Now begin to create a soft ocean sound or hissing sound at the back of your throat. Once again, what's important is not that you be able to do that perfectly or even easily, but that you are able to do your best effort. With our next exhalation, let's transition into tabletop. On the inhalation, lift the tailbone, drop the belly, and bring the crown of the head up. As you exhale, tuck the tailbone, round the back, and bring the crown of the head down. Gently warming up the spine and the muscles in your back. When you feel that you've done this to your satisfaction, come back to a neutral spine, tuck the toes, lift the hips, and come up and back into downward facing dog. In downward dog, begin to pedal the feet back and forth, stretching toes, ankles, knees, and hips. Walking out your dog. Once you've done this, come into your full expression of downward facing dog. Hands shoulder width, fingers spread as wide as they can go. Palms firmly planted into the ground, feet hip distance, and heels actively reaching toward the ground. With the next exhalation, walk your feet toward your hands, coming into ragdoll. Grabbing the opposite elbow and dangling at the front edge of your mat. Take this time to nod or shake your head, sway your hips, bend your knees, and gently stretch the backside of your whole body. Then with your arms relaxed on an inhalation, gradually roll up to standing, stacking ears, shoulders, hips, knees, and heels. Coming into a relaxed mountain pose. Once standing, take a moment to check your face, jaw, lips, brow, and shoulders. And allow these muscles to relax, as generally speaking, they won't help you do the yoga postures that we're going to do today. Then with the feet touching on an inhalation, draw the arms up, touch the palms, and lift the heart as you lengthen from your pubic bone through your chin. Be mindful of your neck and your back as you inhale and lengthen the whole front of your body, and exhale, explore how far back you can go comfortably. On the next inhale, come through center, and as you exhale, release into forward fold. With the next inhale, come to your fingertips for half lift, and as you exhale, step to the top of a push-up for plank pose, Phalakasana. In plank, be sure your wrists are directly below the shoulders and that the shoulder blades are engaged. Position the hips so they're directly between the shoulders and the heels, not too low and not too high. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, drop your knees and bend your arms to a right angle. Hold this position as you take a breath. With the next exhalation, lower the rest of the way down, and then on the inhale, pressing into the tops of your feet and your hands, lift your head, neck, chest, and upper part of your abdomen for Cobra pose. As you exhale, lower back down, press back to tabletop, and then to downward facing dog. From downward dog, inhale to your toes, look between your hands, and as you exhale, step, jump, or float to the front edge of your mat. Inhale all the way to standing back bend, and this time, as you exhale, grab the right wrist with your left hand, send your hips to the right as you pull your arm to the left, Ardha Chandrasana, or half moon pose. Inhale through center and exhale to half moon on the other side. With each inhalation, lengthen your whole left side, and with each exhalation, explore going further or deeper into the stretch. Inhale, coming back to center, and exhale to Uttanasana or forward fold. Inhale to half lift and exhale to the top of your push-up, plank pose. This time, decide whether you'd like your knees up or down to do your push-up. Keeping the knees up is about 30% harder, so if you have trouble bending your arms doing push-ups, drop the knees. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, lower down halfway. Inhale, this time straightening the arms and legs for upward facing dog. Otherwise, repeat Cobra or Bhujangasana. As you exhale, pull both feet in at the same time as you lift your hips up and back to downward facing dog. From downward dog, inhale to the toes, look to the hands, and as you exhale, step, jump, or float to the front edge of your mat. Inhale all the way to standing back bend, and exhale to half moon. Inhale back to center, and exhale to Ardha Chandrasana on the other side. Inhale to center and exhale to Uttanasana, the awkward pose. Bringing your hips back, keeping your heels over your knees, and keeping your arms up and back. Holding Utkatasana and feeling the legs work. Now take a deep breath, and as you exhale, release into the forward fold. Inhale for half lift and exhale to the bottom of your push-up. Inhale to up dog, and if you're able, put a push-up in on your way back to downward facing dog. In downward dog, bring your feet to touch and inhale the right leg up and back. Bend the knee and draw the knee in toward your belly, out to the right, and then back behind you. Do this several times, making giant circles in the air. After a few in one direction, reverse and do a few in the other direction. Then take a nice deep breath in and exhale, lunge. With your next inhale, come up to Virabhadrasana, second variation. In this posture, you'd like your front foot and knee pointing straight ahead. The knee lunges directly over the heel. The torso is directly over the hips. Fingertips reach forward and backward as though you're trying to touch the front and back walls simultaneously. Your chest and hips open up to the left wall, and your gaze is over your front fingertips. From here, take a nice deep breath, and as you exhale, cartwheel down to the bottom of a push-up, making your way back to downward facing dog. From downward dog, let's bring feet to touch and inhale the left leg up and back. Exhale, the knee bent toward your belly, out to the left and back behind you several times. Remember to do a few in each direction. Then taking a deep breath, exhale as you lunge, and then inhale to Virabhadrasana II. In this pose, you should feel the front leg fatiguing, the back leg stretching, and the arms getting tired the longer that you hold the pose. Now take a deep breath and exhale, cartwheel down to the bottom of your push-up, making your way back to downward facing dog. From down dog, exhale down into a tabletop position and come over onto your left side. On your left side, place your elbow directly below your shoulder and then take the legs and straighten them out. Take your right hand to your right hip, and with the next inhalation, making sure that the shoulder is engaged, lift the hips up off the ground. Then, extending the arm up, look up. If this is too much for you, then simply bend the knees and do it with your knees bent instead. This is a basic side plank position. Exhale, come back down, and go ahead and switch sides. Same idea here, elbow below the shoulder, shoulder engaged. Inhale, lift the hips up. If too much, bend the knees and do it like this instead. Extend the arm up and look up. Exhale, come back down and use downward dog or vinyasa to come back to downward facing dog. From downward dog, bring your feet to touch, inhale to the toes, and exhale as you make your way to the front edge of your mat. Inhale all the way to standing and exhale your hands to your hips. Tree pose is next. Shifting weight to your left foot, bend the right knee. Place the right heel on the ankle, calf, or the inside of the thigh. Then bring your hands to your heart center, between the elbows, or extend the arms up. Keep drawing the right knee back, opening up the hip. Take a deep breath and exhale as you release tree. Side 2. If you're having trouble balancing, a couple things that you might try are focusing more on your breath than on the pose. Making sure the breath is steady and even. And also keeping your eyes on one point and steady. Exhale and release. Inhale all the way to standing back bend. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift, crow, or maybe handstand. And exhale to the bottom of your push-up, making your way back to downward facing dog. In downward dog, bring your feet to touch and inhale the right leg up and back. This is called three-legged dog pose. Lift the leg high, flex the foot, and point the toes, knee, and hip straight toward the ground. Keep the right leg straight and lifted without lifting your right hip. Take a deep breath, and as you exhale, lunge. And then inhale again to Warrior 2, Virabhadrasana. Exhale here, and with your next inhale, come up to this position, Stupa or temple. As you exhale, Bend both knees and drop your hands to your knees for goddess prep. Move your hips gently from side to side, opening up the inside of the thighs. You can move your torso around as well, as this tends to affect the intensity of the stretch. Then inhale, come back up to standing. Exhale, sink into goddess pose. In goddess pose, the knees are over the heels, the toes and knees point in the same direction, as wide as they can go. The arms basically mimic what you're doing with your legs. Dropping the hips down, work the thighs more intensely and stretch the inside of the thighs more deeply. With the next inhale, we'll come back up to standing. And as we exhale, sink down into it again, maybe a little deeper this time. And one more time, inhale, coming back up, and exhale, sink in even a little deeper. Inhale all the way back up to standing, and exhale, cartwheel down to the bottom of your push-up, making your way back to downward facing dog. In downward dog, bring the feet to touch and inhale the left leg up and back for three-legged dog pose. Take a few breaths as you hold three-legged dog. Now take a deep breath and exhale as you lunge. Inhale to a warrior two. Exhale into this shape. And with your next inhale, again, come up into stupa, which is a Buddhist monument. Exhale again to the goddess. With this second repetition of goddess, see if you can go a little bit deeper into this stretch. And then inhale, coming back up to stupa. Exhale into goddess. And then inhale the right heel off the ground, sinking down into the work in that hip and leg. Notice if you're trying to avoid the intensity of this experience, and see if you can simply relax into it. Exhale, release the heel, and inhale back up to standing. Exhale, sinking into it once again. Inhale the opposite heel up, and exhale both hips down. Again, try and notice in what ways, subtle or not so subtle, that you might be moving into avoidance. Exhale the heel down and inhale up to standing. Exhale, sink into goddess once again, and inhale both heels up. Sink both hips down. Breathe. Inhale back up to standing, and exhale, cartwheel down to the bottom of your push-up, making your way to downward facing dog. From the downward dog, exhale into tabletop position. From tabletop, what I'd like you to do is simply take the top leg, which on this side is going to be your right leg, and straighten it out. Allow your hips to stack and your shoulders to stack. Place your straight left arm directly below the shoulder, and then with an inhalation, extend your arm up toward the ceiling. This is called a modified side plank. This tends to be a rather easy variation of side plank, so if you'd like a little more challenge, then try the other modification. Take the right foot to the ground and extend the left leg out straight instead. Notice how the more weight that you put into your right foot, the less work you're doing with your torso. The target is the muscles of the torso and shoulder. Exhale, come back down and switch sides. Let's begin with the easier of the two variations, which looks like this. Again, for many people, this will be a little too easy. Feel the muscles of the torso and notice if they're doing any work at all. If not, try the other variation. Experiment with how much to relax your left leg and how much work to put into your right shoulder and the muscles of the torso. Take a deep breath and exhale to the bottom of your push-up, making your way to downward facing dog. From downward dog, inhale to the toes and exhale to the front edge of your mat. Inhale all the way to standing back bend and exhale your hands to your hips. Now, let's see if we can add a lotus to our tree pose, or a half lotus to our tree pose. To do this, we simply, again, shift the weight to our left foot, bending the right knee. And this time, we put the right foot into the hip crease of our left leg, like so. I'll hold the foot either with my left hand, or I can reach around and bind the toe with my right hand. Not everyone will be able to bind, so give it a shot, and if you can't do it, don't worry about it. The free hand can come to the heart or extend up overhead. Take a nice deep breath, and as you exhale, release this variation of tree. Then, shifting weight to the other leg, transition to the other side. Remember that we have options and variations in yoga because one size does not fit all. It's not always about doing a harder or more challenging variation. It's about doing the variation that is appropriate for your body today. Let's take a deep breath and exhale as we release the pose. Inhaling, standing back bend, and exhale to forward fold. Inhale to half lift, and exhale to the bottom of your push-up, making your way to downward facing dog. In downward dog, bring the feet to touch and inhale the right leg up and back. Take a deep breath, and as you exhale, touch the right knee high up on the right arm and take a breath here. Then inhale the leg up and back and exhale the knee to your nose, chin, or forehead. And again, take a breath. Inhale the leg up and back and exhale to the opposite arm, holding the leg as high as you can, and once again taking a breath. Then inhaling the leg up and back, exhale and lunge. Inhale up to Warrior Two. Exhale here. And then with your next inhalation, take Reverse or Peaceful Warrior. The legs should stay exactly as they are in a Warrior Two, except now you're reaching back and stretching your whole side. Looking up, keeping the back legs straight. Then with the next exhale, come up to Warrior Two, and then inhale to Stupa. Exhale to Goddess. Inhale again to Stupa. Exhale to Warrior Two. Inhale to Reverse Warrior on the other side. Exhale, come back up. Inhale, Stupa. Exhale, Goddess. Inhale, Stupa. And exhale, cartwheel down, bottom of your push-up, making your way to Downward Dog. In Downward Dog, bring your feet to touch and inhale the left leg up and back. Exhale the left knee high up on the left arm. Take a breath. Then inhale the leg up and back. Exhale the knee to nose, chin, or forehead. Take a breath. Inhale the leg up and back. And exhale to the opposite arm. Take a breath. Inhale the leg up and back. And exhale as you lunge. Inhale, Virabhadrasana. Exhale, sink into it. Inhale, Reverse or Peaceful Warrior. Exhale back up to Warrior Two. Inhale to Stupa. Exhale, Goddess. Inhale, Stupa. And exhale, Warrior Two. Inhale, Reverse or Peaceful Warrior. Exhale, Warrior Two. Inhale, Stupa. Exhale, Goddess. Inhale, back up to Stupa. Exhale, Warrior Two. Inhale, Reverse or Peaceful Warrior. And exhale, cartwheel down, bottom of your push-up. Make your way back to Downward Facing Dog. From Downward Dog, bring your feet to touch and then carefully roll into the classic side plank position. If this is too much for your shoulder or the muscles of your torso, use one of the modifications that we've already covered. Once again, be sure that the shoulder is engaged and try and avoid lifting the hips too high. This is not a side plank, but a side arch. The hips should be level with the shoulders and the heels. Exhale, come back to downward dog, and then take it over to the other side. Classic side plank position. This is a great pose for strengthening the muscles in the shoulders and in the waist. Exhale, return to downward facing dog. From downward dog, inhale to the toes, twin your hands, and as you exhale, make your way to the edge of the mat. Inhale all the way to standing back bend, and exhale, hands to your hips. Now, let's again take a look at a variation of the tree pose. Feel free to do any of the variations that we've covered so far if you find that you can't go any further. Once again, don't worry about doing it perfectly. If you never wobble or fall, then you probably actually haven't found your edge yet. If you have the front of the foot at the front of the thigh, and you're holding it with either hand, with the next exhale, try folding in half and bringing the free hand all the way to the ground. From there, see if you can actually hold your standing leg, creating one point of balance and stretching the back of the standing leg. Inhale, coming all the way back up to standing, and exhale, releasing the pose. Side two. Please take your time setting up balanced postures. Without a strong foundation, you'll find that the pose gives you trouble the whole time. Inhaling, coming all the way back up to standing, and exhale as you release the pose. Inhale, standing back bend, and exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift, crow or handstand, and exhale right to the bottom of your push-up. Okay, from here, let's bring our feet to touch and we'll inhale the right leg up and back. Exhale the right knee high up on the right arm. Inhale the leg up and back. Exhale the knee to nose, chin, or forehead. Inhale the leg up and back. Exhale the knee high up on the opposite arm. Kick the foot out, drop the back heel, and inhale the left arm up into fallen triangle pose. Exhale the hand back to the ground and inhale the leg up and back. Exhale, place the foot between the hands, drop the back heel, and inhale up into a warrior two. Exhale here, and with the next inhale, straighten the front leg. Pivot the hands open to the left wall, and with your next exhale, reach forward, lengthening both the left and right sides of your torso as much as possible. Once you can't go any further, pivot your arms into a 6 o'clock position. Bring your gaze skyward. Keep rolling the left hip back and the left shoulder back. Keep opening up both sides of the waist, lengthening them with each inhalation. This is called triangle pose or extended triangle. Inhale, come back up, and as you exhale, cartwheel to the bottom of your push-up, making your way to downward dog. In downward dog, bringing feet to touch, inhale the left leg up and back, and exhale left knee to left arm. Inhale, exhale to the center. Inhale, and exhale to the opposite arm. Kick the foot out, drop the back heel, and inhale, fallen triangle pose. Exhale the hand back down and inhale the leg up and back. Exhale, lunge, and inhale to warrior two. Exhale here, then inhale straightening the front leg, pivoting the arms open, and exhaling into an extended triangle pose, Utthitha Trikonasana. The left hand can be in the air, rest on the shin, or rest on a block, or even the ground, depending on how far down you go. Inhale, come back up, and exhale, cartwheel down to the bottom of your push-up, making your way to downward facing dog. From downward dog, come into a classic side plank. And then if you're able, take the top foot and place it into a tree position. Exhale, return to downward facing dog, and breathe. Then, with feet touching, come to side plank on the other side. Once again, to make it a little more challenging, place the foot on the inside of the thigh. Exhale, and return to downward facing dog. From downward dog, inhale to the toes and exhale to the front edge of your mat. Inhale all the way up to standing back bend and exhale hands to your hips. Once again, explore one of the variations of tree that we've done so far, taking yourself as far as you can before things really start to fall apart. If you are able to do the last variation, this time, inhale both arms up, and as you exhale, come down into a toestand, Padangusthasana. Once you're down, try and bring your hands to your heart center, balancing on the toes of one foot. Then with an inhalation, come all the way back up to standing, and exhale as you release your pose. Padangusthasana, side 2. Inhaling back up to standing, and exhale, release the pose. Inhale, standing back bend, and then exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift or one of the other options, and exhale, right to the bottom of a push-up. In downward dog, bring your feet to touch and inhale the right leg up and back. Bend the knee, open the hips, and if you feel comfortable doing so, flip your dog over. Once you've flipped, move the arm in the air in large circles. Do a few in each direction, and then take a deep breath, and as you exhale, lunge. And then inhale to Warrior 2. Exhale to Extended Triangle, Utthitha Trikonasana. Take a deep breath in as you bend the front knee, and with the next exhale, transition to Ardha Chandrasana, balancing half moon pose. Lift the back leg up, flex the foot so the toes, knee, and hip point toward the left wall. The shoulders stack again in 6 o'clock position, and the gaze is skyward. Exhale, bottom of the push-up, making your way to downward facing dog. In downward dog, bring feet to touch. Inhale, left leg up and back. Then bend the knee, and if it feels safe to do so, flip your dog over. Move the shoulder around. Feel that joint. Take a deep breath and exhale as you lunge, and then inhale as you come up to a Warrior 2. Exhale to an Extended Triangle pose. Take a deep breath and exhale to Balancing Half Moon pose. Take a deep breath and exhale to the bottom of your push-up, making your way back to downward facing dog. Bringing feet to touch, come into a classic side plank. For a little more challenge, this time try lifting the top leg into Starfish. Exhale, make your way over to downward dog, and eventually to the other side. Once again, maybe explore doing the Starfish variation this time. Exhale, returning to the downward facing dog. From downward dog, inhale to the toes, and as you exhale, make your way to the front edge of your mat. Inhale all the way to standing back bend, and exhale, hands to your hips. For the last time, try bringing the foot into the half-lotus position. From here, with an exhale, bring your hands to the ground, bend both arms, look forward, and bring your legs to rest on the back of your arms. Look forward and shift weight off of the standing foot onto the legs. This is a half lotus in crow pose. Then inhale, coming back up to standing. Exhale and release the pose. Side 2. Rest the shin of both legs on the back of the arms as you shift weight off of the foot and onto the arms. Inhale, come all the way back up to standing, and exhale, release the pose. Inhale to standing back bend, and exhale all the way back onto your back. Once you're on your back, bring your legs in, give them a nice squeeze. Try rocking side to side, forward and back, or make circles with your knees. And then grab the soles of your feet for happy baby. Take the legs and try stretching them out one at a time or both together. Pull them overhead to stretch your back. Pull them apart to stretch your groin. And when you sense that you're ready, unwind onto your back. Legs apart, arms out at the sides, palms up, head centered, chin tucked in slightly, and eyes closed. Shavasana. Okay, so how was that? Challenging, I hope, but also fun. Remember, you don't have to do everything in the class, okay? You can skip things. You can stay with simpler and easier variations. That's the way I design the classes. So once again, if you got something from it, please give me a like, thumbs up, comment below, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you next time. Namaste.